After the show, be sure to get your Friendo Club t-shirt from the Steve & Larson merch store at TeePublic. The link is in the description. Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Welcome back to Going In Raw. That's right, it's a wrestling podcast available on iTunes.
YouTube.
You're probably watching here on YouTube. We stepped up our quality in terms of, you always criticize me for tinkering, but we stepped up our fidelity. Now we're in the highest possible fidelity, Larson.
I give you, I bust your balls about tinkering for the sake of tinkering. This is an upgrade. That's okay.
This is an actual upgrade, so
Yeah.
you approve of this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I don't really care. I'm going to do it anyways.
Okay.
We're in my house,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So what I say goes across the board. We're very slowly adding to our Going In Raw set. I added the Sting mask. I imported him from the 10 for the Win set, 10 for the Win / List Shock set.
Yeah.
And I brought him over here. How do you feel about that?
That's a good call.
Okay, good. I'm glad you like that. I got my mic right here.
I know. I need to get one of those.
It was $140.
I got one of these. I got the Lav.
I know. I kind of prefer that because it's freedom. But like, I got to go back and forth now with the camera. I got to go back and forth and do stuff.
But that's good because if you had the Lav, you'd be tied down to the table. You'd have to take the Lav off to go.
Exactly. It's a
that.
pain in the
No,
ass. I
no,
can't
you-
do that. Now I've got total and complete freedom.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. Anyways, we've got your Raw cap for you, right? Oh, I'm not supposed to say that.
No, I say that.
All right, here we go then. Yeah, it's a storm coming and it's cold.
Thunder.
No, man.
Raw cap.
There you go. It's our Raw cap.
Do we have to talk about Raw?
Okay, here's the thing.
It wasn't very good.
In the title of the video, we literally we say Raw results. The only way we get views. So we have to say Raw results. So we have to go over the results of Raw. I know. I hate doing it also.
No, I don't.
No.
I don't
This
generally
week,
hate
I'm
doing
saying
it.
this week I
Yeah,
hate
this
doing it.
week.
Here's my thing. I now understand the people who have a much smaller tolerance for Raw because I feel like last night's show is how a lot of people that we know feel like every week is how Raw is.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that way. I feel like there's a bare minimum amount of entertainment that I need, and then I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
me
like,
too.
you know what? I can watch this. It's Monday night. I'm not doing dick else.
Give me 3 good segments,
Uh-huh.
2 decent ones, and I'm generally happy.
Throw in a good match or two here and there.
Yeah.
And I'm fine. But last night was fucking okay. Listen,
It was probably the most incoherent episode of Raw I've seen in a long time.
we are on the road to WrestleMania right now.
And they're trotting out this poorly written garbage.
There isn't dick going on.
No.
We're supposed to have stories. We're supposed to have matches that are being built.
And every story we thought they were setting up in the Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
no.
Completely gone.
So it's like all the interesting stuff they put together during the Royal Rumble, either whoever booked that is no longer working creative now,
Yeah.
or that was complete accidents.
Yeah.
Just across the board, all accidents.
Complete accidents. I think that might be the case. Like, Sami Zayn comes in. Oh, cool. So we've got some Sami Zayn shit happening. Maybe that'll build up to something. We had AJ Styles square off against a couple of different people
Yeah.
in the Rumble, all of whom would have made it interesting. Kevin Owens had had a lot of interesting moments. That could have, and none of it. We have no. What's Kevin Owens even doing? He jobbed to Dolph Ziggler last night.
Which doesn't make any sense because even with Dolph winning, it doesn't help them really. They're not going to do anything with them.
Let's go down the line though. Let's open up with Paul Heyman coming out.
And I'll say this about the show last night. I felt like everybody who was on the show knew the show was subpar.
Yeah.
'Cause it seemed like nobody was excited to be on.
Nobody gave a shit. You could tell nobody gave a shit. We open up with Brock Lesnar coming out with Paul Heyman. Heyman talks. I'm kind of tired of Paul Heyman talking about Brock Lesnar. I've seen it too many times. I like when Heyman is more involved in plot lines and stories and stuff like that, as opposed to him coming out and simply being a mouthpiece for Brock Lesnar. I know exactly what he's going to say. I know how he's going to say it. I love Paul Heyman. I fucking love Paul Heyman.
Yes.
He could do so much more and better than this. Ambrose comes out, interrupts Heyman.
That was the only interesting thing last night because it seemed to set up the larger, if there
Right.
was a narrative of the show,
Right.
which was, it seems like they're pushing Ambrose to the fore,
Yeah.
and Reigns is kind of settling into the background.
That's one that, I mean, that's kind of the main thing that was reiterated for me last night is just how over Ambrose is. Because he comes out and he gets such a great pop. The people fucking love Dean Ambrose. And he wears that belt like a champ. Like that belt belongs to him. He's great right now, and he's so over. I still can't help feeling, and look, Fastlane may surprise us. I still get the feeling that, well, we'll talk about it in a sec. Ambrose comes out and I actually kind of like the shit that he talked to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good. And so he said his piece and then he left. Is there any chance, do you think there's any chance that Ambrose wins at Fastlane? Does Ambrose go on to main event? Is there any chance that happens?
I don't think he himself wins. I think if he goes on to WrestleMania, it's going to be a triple threat with Reigns, Ambrose, and Triple H.
Okay.
Because I still feel like they've invested so much in Reigns and tried so hard to get him over, and they did. And then everything they did right since the Royal Rumble, they just have not done it again.
My only concern with that is that it kind of has the same problem that you had predicted going into the Royal Rumble, in that if it's Reigns, if it's a triple threat and Ambrose doesn't win, is the crowd going to revolt? That's a big problem they might have.
Oh, it is. I know.
And is that where you're saying?
But even they're still right now they're faced with the problem that if Reigns beats Triple H one-on-one, that the crowd's going to have that same reaction. The crowd's going to boo him winning.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know. It feels like everything they did right with Reigns. You said this before camera, and you're right. Everything they did right with Reigns is that they're not doing right now. They're not doing like
it all started with the Royal Rumble when they made him look weak.
Yeah.
They made him look so weak at the Rumble.
Yeah.
And then the following night's Raw, he was hardly on the show.
He barely gave a shit.
And like Triple H comes out and does his promo about winning the belt. Where's Reigns?
Yeah.
He doesn't even show up till the end of the show.
There was another segment where Stephanie had the world title in her office.
Yeah.
And she was talking shit to Reigns and Ambrose. And I don't know. Okay, it's so bizarre when Reigns had the belt, and it makes me wonder if he just understands that it's all up in the air right now still. When he had the belt, there did seem to be a spike in his confidence in terms of on the mic.
Yeah.
Last night he was mumbling.
Mm-hmm.
Dean Ambrose was throwing him softballs, and he just wasn't swinging at them. It was all stuff. You think about this stuff. What the fuck was that?
I know.
He seems he comes off as so weak.
Yeah. And then, we'll get to the tag match later during the main event.
Okay. You have written here in your notes. These are all your Raw Cap notes.
Yeah.
Heath Slater is terrible.
I can't stand him.
I understand that Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas were at the bedside of Blackjack Mulligan, their granddad. Yes. Along with IRS, their dad. Mm-hmm. I like to think of all these guys in their gimmicks.
Okay.
So that's awful for them, but they're doing what they're doing for their family. But Bo is like my favorite member. Bo and Curtis Axel. I actually like all three of those guys that aren't Heath Slater. But I like Bo Dallas. I like Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
Adam Rose is weird.
Yeah.
And I like that. Heath Slater's terrible though.
Awful. He's so annoying when he talks.
He really is. The other guys are really entertaining though.
Yeah.
I love Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
I read a thing with I think Bo Dallas the other day, and he was talking up Mr. Perfect quite a bit, and he seemed really happy that he got to become good friends with his son. That's kind of neat. Like, because he was saying Perfect was like one of his inspirations growing up. So that's kind of neat to know. But I fucking love Bo Dallas. I was this close. at Toys R Us. No, it wasn't Toys R Us. I was at Target, Walmart, one of those places. And they had a $10 of Bo Dallas figure, but in his diapers. And I was thinking, like, maybe for the set.
He could have been right here.
And he's got I don't want them to change his diapers yet.
We better.
I know. I got to hop on that. It's probably, I think it was at Walmart, so it's probably going to be there for a while. Let's see here. So they had a fight. They had a match against the Usos. The Usos are heavy. What can they do? You know what my problem with the Usos is? I kind of realized a bit last night. I mean, many problems with the Usos. They're trying to get them over like Rikishi minus the big ass thing. And Rikishi's big ass thing was because last night in the ring they were literally dancing, and that's the first time I actually realized that their music is samples Rikishi's music. I don't know if it samples it directly, but it sounds a lot like Rikishi's music. There's some Rikishi in there.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
If you listen to it, I thought maybe it was an obvious thing, so I was waiting for you to be like, yeah, duh, everybody knows that because it's their dad. But if you listen to their crap music, it's got crappy Rikishi's music in it, and they started dancing, and I realized, like, wait a second. They don't have a giant ass. Remember, he used to, like, literally rub his asshole on people's face. And I always heard that if you raise the ire of Rikishi, that he'd dig in deep. So your nose would be in his fucking asshole. That's so fucking gross. What the fuck is wrong with wrestling, dude? You rub my asshole on your fucking nose. But they don't have the benefit of a massive ass and a butthole on somebody's nose. You can't do that anymore. For one thing, I'm pretty sure that violates some sort of section of the health and wellness policy.
Yeah.
Because rubbing somebody's asshole on your nose and mouth,
that's pink eye you're asking for.
It's not healthy.
No.
There's nothing well about it.
No.
It's disgusting. But they need some fucking personality. I don't know why are they so hesitant to pull some sort of trigger on the Usos?
I don't know.
Do something with them.
I know. I don't know. I mean, like the booking of WWE programming the last, years.
Yeah.
Has been so all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned on I think it was like the Thanksgiving edition of SmackDown, where they had some skits and were showing some personality, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then, as far as I can recall, there's been nothing since then.
There's been nothing since then. I know. Let's see here. And a lot of people are saying, they should turn them heel. They should turn them heel. I just think that'll make it worse. I really do. I mean, until they look, if they turn them heel and they show some personality, great. But you're not going to survive these days.
Whether they're face or heel, they need to be given an opportunity to show personality.
Exactly.
And they're not given that personality right now.
Right.
Or sorry, the opportunity.
There was a really annoying AJ Styles Miz segment, which I understand it was, Miz being Miz.
Well, I didn't mind that much.
Okay, here's the question though. It's a pretty big question. How does the WWE long term get around the idea that AJ's not a good promo guy? Because last night I was like, oh, cool, this will be interesting. We'll hear him talk. And then when it became evident what the Miz was doing, it was like, okay, so they know he can't do a promo. I mean, I saw his stuff in TNA. I've heard him talk, and he just sounds like, I don't know, he's boring to me.
Yeah.
I mean, are they just gonna get off on the fact that his moveset? And it's honestly like, I like AJ Styles, but I'm wondering if the WWE style, so to speak, suits him.
If there's a style clash.
Is there a styles clash with AJ Styles and WWE?
No, I don't think there is.
You don't think so? Like, have him work against Kalisto.
Or Neville.
Or a Neville. A Neville versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania would be fantastic. And you don't need these guys to talk. Maybe they just come out and say, hey, I'm the best. No, I'm the best. I mean, what's like... Both guys are hailed for basically the same thing. Their offensive moveset. They're good in the ring. Mm-hmm. They don't need to be good talkers so those guys can really bring the best out of each other.
I think Neville and Styles can get by on their athletic ability alone to a point.
To a point, yeah.
I think Kalisto's shown that he's good enough on the mic that he can transcend that limitation and potentially go on to capture more belts.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But until AJ finds a way to be more captivating on the mic,
right,
he's going to be a mid-carder.
And he needs I agree, but he also needs opponents that can bring out the best. One thing I notice about Kalisto is that Kalisto can work interesting matches against a wide variety of opponents.
Yeah.
He had a match against Rusev last night.
That was good.
That was a good match.
And I think he knows he convincingly plays the underdog role really well.
Yeah, exactly.
And knows how to, tell stories based on that.
Right. A guy like Neville, and especially a guy like AJ Styles, they're not going to be playing the underdog role. Neville can to a point, but not really. He's much less convincing as an underdog than Kalisto.
Yeah.
Because Kalisto looks like a 12-year-old.
And I think AJ, they've talked up his accomplishments.
Right, exactly. There's no way. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he can't be the underdog now.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that'd be great. I don't want to see AJ versus Jericho WrestleMania.
Not again, no.
I don't want to see that.
I don't even want to see the fast lane.
Jericho is slow. For one thing, he's slow and he's getting some Steve around the gut. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that AJ, I think that, we don't need a lot of promos from him, but if they ever expect him to, I've gotten questions on Twitter about, hey, do you think AJ might main event anytime soon for the belt? No.
So they really, at a Royal Rumble, they should have run with Kevin Owens, AJ, have Kevin Owens come out and say, oh, you're the new guy. Yeah. This is my show. Yeah. This is my turf. Yeah. That's all you need.
Instead, we have, he's not doing anything.
He's not doing anything.
Okay, let me ask you this. So last night we had Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens. I think they put Dolph Ziggler over because he needed a win.
But they're not going to, what are they going to do with him after that?
I don't know.
It's not going to benefit him because they're not going to do anything with him.
It doesn't necessarily hurt Kevin Owens, though.
No, not really.
So
it doesn't necessarily help Dolph either.
It does. It does more to help. If we're talking about help and hurting, it does more to help Dolph. If he lost again to Kevin Owens, it just makes him look even more like shit. I didn't expect him to win last night because he hasn't won in fucking forever. Yeah. So in my mind, it's like, okay, he's got a little bit of a shine because he came out on top. I don't know where they're going to go from here.
Are they going to do Kevin Owens versus Dolph at Fastlane?
Fucking hope not. I don't want to see that shit. They've already fought like a million times. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. This is the thing. We don't fucking know anything. When is Fastlane? It's like 3 weeks, 2 weeks?
February 21st, I think.
Really? That's like 3 weeks away. Yeah. It's less than 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know anything.
I don't know. I do like that Kevin Owens at the end of his match he threw a fit and he threw some shit at Michael Cole.
That's the best part about Kevin Owens losing because he's the most entertaining loser.
And he seems to have a special affinity for trying to fuck with Michael Cole. We brushed upon this during our Royal Rumble podcast, but when he was fucking with Michael Cole,
oh, that was so good.
I was fucking cracking up when he goes over there and just obviously fucks with him. I was dying laughing. That's got to be a who's gonna laugh first type thing. Yeah. So that's pretty funny. Let's see here. You have Sasha versus Becky Lynch. They finally so this is the thing. They needed to get Sasha away from Team Bad.
Yeah.
You're very disappointed in this.
Yeah. Because they had Team Bad come out.
Right.
And it seemed like it was a situation where Sasha said, I'm going to go my own way, but we're still friends. So
right, yeah.
You can have my back still, which is kind of like a reunion.
Right.
They did the unity thing at the end. It's okay. Are they back together?
Yeah.
So she starts her match with Becky, and Becky gets tossed to the outside. Team Bad goes to beat her up a little bit.
Yeah.
And Sasha goes down there and says, no, don't do that. I'm going to do this myself. I didn't even ask for you guys to come out here. Get out.
Yeah. Why
didn't she say that in the ring?
Yeah.
What they should have done is they come out and kind of similar to what Sasha did to Charlotte. Just be like, oh yeah, cool. And then she kick her out and kick them out of the ring. Yeah. That'd have been great.
That'd have been awesome.
The crowd would have loved it.
Made her look huge.
Yeah.
Very strong. Yeah.
But instead it was just, and then Becky helps Sasha fight off.
Didn't make a lick of sense.
None of it made sense.
Doesn't make any sense. So are we going to, maybe on SmackDown, we're going to get a tag match with
I
these
don't know.
four?
I mean, what they were setting up something really interesting with Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha. They could have had maybe a triple threat match at Fastlane. Mm-hmm. Have Charlotte pin Becky maybe by cheating. Yeah. To kind of take her out of the equation, and so it could have been Charlotte and Sasha leading up to WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. That seemed like a pretty obvious story. Yeah. But then I guess now, according to the dirt sheets, Brie's going to get a title shot at Fastlane against Charlotte.
That doesn't make any sense. It's all
none of this makes sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
It's like here Fastlane is the road to WrestleMania. Here we're gonna do all these storylines that have zero WrestleMania implications.
Didn't they do that last year though?
Kind of, yeah. The only match that really had WrestleMania implications was Daniel Bryan against Roman Reigns for.
Yeah, that's right.
For the spot in the
That's right. And Fastlane last year was a terrible pay-per-view.
It wasn't very good.
I remember. I think we called it Fastlane.
Fastlane.
Yeah. So looks like we're going there again. We're going back on the Fastlane. Let's see here. And then main event. So we talked about this a little bit. You're saying Roman Reigns, is he getting pushed to the background? Is he pushing himself to the background? Because he seems shy. Last night he seemed shy. New stuff. New stuff. If
I mean,
say so.
Dean was the guy that got the win. He got the pinfall. And then when Lesnar comes out, Roman exits the ring to fight off the New Day.
Yeah.
Leaving Ambrose to get the F5.
Yeah.
And also during the segment with Steph, they were teasing some discord. And I wonder if the events at the end of Raw last night are going to feed into that as well, where Roman, goes and fights off the New Day while Ambrose eats the NF5. Are they going to argue about that or something?
Now, we still feel, although this is the thing, all bets are off. Like we said before, the Royal Rumble, they seem to be just doing whatever the fuck they want to now. Now, we were looking at Lesnar versus the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
Could this be setting up possibly Lesnar versus Ambrose at WrestleMania? That'd be a hell of a match.
Could be.
Because apparently the Big Show's the one taking on the Wyatt family at this point.
Well, they'll do Big Show Strowman at Fastlane to make Strowman look
right.
impressive.
Yeah.
Because he'll win, and I guess he's getting some sort of push maybe from what the
I originally read that it was going to be Undertaker, Strowman, and now that's off the table.
It's a good idea.
I know.
I don't know. I mean, apart from Kane, I don't know who the Undertaker would wrestle. That's the most... Maybe
they're biding Kevin Owens' time.
I kind of think they're biding their time to see if Cena will get healthy enough.
Oh, you think so? That guy is miraculous when it comes to recovery, so it's always a possibility, I guess. Let's see here. This is also big news from this past week. AJ Styles debuted his Styles Clash
on SmackDown.
After teasing it in the Rumble, after teasing it on Raw, the two biggest platforms you could have, the two biggest stages that he could have to debut the Styles Clash. After teasing it, he's going to debut it against Curtis Axel.
They should have teased that all the way to WrestleMania.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on here. Curtis Axel, thank God. Head up.
Mm-hmm. I watched it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to get one against The Miz on Raw next? No, it's on SmackDown.
If it's on SmackDown, then probably, yeah.
It's going to be a SmackDown exclusive move.
That's how they're going to get people to watch SmackDown. You want to see the Styles Clash? You have to watch SmackDown for
it. So The Miz, remember Miz, head down. Head down, you fucking idiot.
Oh, come on.
No, you know what? Somebody called me out on Twitter because I was talking shit about it. And somebody called me out. I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Half the time I like him, half the time I can't stand him. He's just a way. Do you know what it is? This is when Miz is good. Miz is good when he's not involved, when he's a facilitator. When he's a facilitator, he's great. When he's in the action, I don't want to see him because I know he's never going to win.
Yeah.
He's not going to win. So why do I care to see Miz in a match?
His match with Kalisto
Raw
was good.
Look, he's an okay wrestler. He's fine at wrestling.
He's good on the mic. He's good all around.
Yeah. He's good, but he's not great. And there's so much good talent right now that he doesn't stand out.
I agree.
Yeah. He's best when he's doing shit, like when they're doing funny shit, like that time, I don't know, a couple weeks ago when they were talking about the Rumble and Truth was in there and Stardust was in there. Everybody was in there. He's a funny moderator. He's a funny facilitator.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Oh, goodness gracious. Styles Clash on SmackDown. In some heavier, sadder news, Bret Hart has announced that he has prostate cancer. Now, full disclosure, in the past, we've talked our fair share of Bret Hart, our fair share of shit about Bret Hart. Because, like, we as wrestling fans, like, he was never our favorite. But all that shit aside, the guy has one of the most storied careers in modern wrestling.
I think a lot of times when we would
we go overboard to be tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I mean, we talk a little shit, just it's jokey.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not serious.
Yeah. We like to troll sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, we might have been the huge Bret Hart fans, but we respect what he's done in the business.
And one of the biggest
all his contributions.
One of the biggest questions in wrestling has always been, what if he never left the WWE?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because when he hit WCW, that's when it all went downhill. Yeah. And it's one of the interesting things when you read or when you watch that JBL interview. By the way, I want to catch that Ron Simmons one.
Yeah.
That's probably really good.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the Road Dogg one still.
Was that the debut episode?
No, the debut was a 2-parter with Eric Bischoff.
Oh, okay.
And it was great.
Yeah.
It was fucking great. And one thing he says is, when Bret Hart came to the WCW, He said, look, I didn't really know him that well in the first place, but the way he interacted with people, he just seemed like he was lost and that he was a shell of the man he was. That's Bischoff's opinion.
Well, from Wrestling with Shadows, you can tell he had leaving, first of all, he had a really hard time with it, and then the events surrounding his departure, I think really added to that.
Yeah. And then, you go to WCW, and he hit a rocky start in WCW, but then he had a decent run. Like, he eventually got the world title a couple times, I think.
Yeah.
So he had a decent run there. He had some really classic matches with Chris Benoit. He had some good matches over there. And then Goldberg put him out of commission.
Yeah.
That is fucking tragedy right there. Because for Goldberg's stupid ass to mule kick him in the head and he has to retire because of it.
Yep.
That's a bad concussion. When you have to retire from a concussion, that's bad.
And he had a stroke because of that.
It's sort of hard to compare any family to the Von Erichs because, talk about tragic. But the Harts are kind of up there. They've had their fair share of tragedy, and it's absolutely awful. So, obviously we wish them the absolute best. Yes. And cancer's nothing to fuck with, and it's horrible. And I really want him, if for no other reason, I want him to get healthy and better so that we can keep on talking shit about him. Because at this point we can't talk shit about him. Like now we have to be all nice and shit. I don't like being nice. So,
I know you don't.
So get better so that we can talk shit.
Best of luck, Brett.
Yeah, exactly.
We have questions, right?
We have questions we're going to answer. If you guys want your questions answered. Here you go. If you guys want to know where to send, because look, we've got, I think Mo Punisher's going to send a poster for the set.
Yeah, it looked like it. Yeah.
Modfather is sending the collections they all to our set. If you guys want to add stuff to our set, P.O. Box 1814, Orangevale, California 95662. I'm going to put it down in the description. You guys can send whatever you want. We'll stick it right up there.
Questions. Are you ready?
Time for questions. If you guys want to send us questions, also just hashtag it Going In Raw.
Yeah. First one, Danger Doom. You were both sent back to 2004 and given control of TNA.
Oh, no.
How do you make them a legitimate competitor to the WWE? And are there any superstars at the time that you would do anything to try and sign? 2004.
That's about when they started, right? 2003, 2002, 2002?
I assume that's when they started.
All right. I don't know. I want to say 2003.
I'm just guessing the date isn't arbitrary. In the question,
Okay. Well, I don't know if we're being handed off like the beginnings of a mess or just a brand new company.
Let's assume it's a brand new company.
I would do this. Okay, brand new company. We're given control of TNA. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming the Jarretts are the one giving me control of TNA.
Yeah.
I would say this. First and foremost, Jeff, you're not selling a dime, bro. Go away.
Yeah.
Be the talent relations guy.
Yeah.
Go out, recruit.
Yeah.
Use your name and your business skills to recruit. Maybe we can use you to get somebody else over.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be the guy here. Nobody wants to see an entire wrestling promotion built around Jeff Jarrett.
That's correct.
That's what I would do, number one.
Yeah.
Because there was too much Jeff Jarrett. Number two, I would do everything possible, because they had Scott Hall for a second.
Yeah.
I would do everything possible to get that guy straight and healthy and have him carry a big chunk of it. Have him be the guy. I don't know exactly how I'd use him, but he was hot shit then. Mm-hmm. So I'd try to use Scott Hall to the best of my ability.
Here's my question. If we're sent back to 2004 knowing what we know now.
Yeah.
If so, first order of business, CM Punk.
Oh, yeah.
Bring him in, develop him as
all right.
the future face of the company.
Okay.
Because out of the gate, he wasn't ready.
Right.
But him, Daniel Bryan,
okay, yeah.
Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, all these guys that in like the mid-aughts were in Ring of Honor and doing the indies.
Okay.
Bring those guys in, develop them, give them an opportunity.
Yep.
That's what I would have done.
Okay. What other like?
But right out of the gate, you got to have those stars that people are already familiar with.
That's
like
true.
Scott Hall.
That's true. What other big star? Because it was Scott Hall, Ken Shamrock. What other guys back then? Because people, let's see, the WWE back then, they had everybody.
Kurt Angle was still in WWE then.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, TNA, Where do you think TNA went wrong? I guess that's the bigger question.
Jeff Jarrett as your top guy.
Okay.
They started
all
on the
right,
wrong
but
foot.
okay. So at one point they brought in Hogan.
Yeah.
Was that a bad idea?
Probably.
In retrospect, it kind of was.
Yeah.
Here's the problem: when you bring in Hogan and then you have music that sounds vaguely like the NWO, you have stuff like that. When you lean too heavily on guys where you can't use their names, like and granted, Bubba Ray Dudley did great in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. When you bring in Vince Russo, they just tried so much shit. It seemed like they tried it. Honestly, like they wanted to be like WCW, and they kind of were, because in the last 3 years of WCW's existence, it was just throwing shit at the wall to see what stuck.
There was no vision for the company whatsoever.
Exactly, and that's what TNA really needed. Like, look at Lucha Underground.
Yeah,
that is such a strong vision of a company.
Really is. I finally got a chance to watch an episode this over the weekend, and that's exactly what it is. It has a very distinct vision, a very distinct voice, and it's a good hour of wrestling.
Can we try to pact to go visit LA for season 3?
Sure.
Because 2 of our friends went to go see season 2, and I'm insanely jealous.
Yeah, me too.
I looked at their champion, Mil Muertes. It's a fucking big dude.
Yeah, he is huge.
And how great is it? The number one contender is Luchadora.
Yeah, and they actually wrestled on that episode I watched.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah. Next question.
Okay.
E. Hobson 617. How would you book the return of the women's title belt? This is how I would do it.
Okay.
Sasha wins at WrestleMania over Charlotte.
Okay.
And then Bayley comes out on Raw the next night, and just during the course of their feud, just like maybe Bayley is the one that comes out and says, we're women wrestlers. Let's make this women's belt again. And so when Bayley wins it, eventually, it'll be renamed the women's belt.
I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to say Bayley comes out, but in tow with her, maybe, how about this? Maybe Sasha and Charlotte's end at WrestleMania wasn't like a full end. So Sasha's still in the mix, but Charlotte's still the champion. And Charlotte still has Ric Flair with her. Bayley comes out, and she needs sort of an older Ric Flair type to combat Ric Flair. She brings out Alundra Blaze, who seems to be wanting to get back in the mix anyways. So Bayley brings her out.
With the old school women's championship.
And that's how you link the women's championship with the Divas champion, because she's sort of the most infamous women's champion ever.
That's not a bad idea.
And then she tosses the Divas belt into the trash.
Mark Shadows. Just listening to Going in Raw, saying you guys don't miss Cena. Would you like a heel turn? Yeah, but it ain't gonna happen anytime soon.
It's not gonna happen. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it'd be great if they brought him back as this monster fucking heel, but it's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
Let me ask you something.
What?
So I watched a little bit of the Total Divas.
Yeah.
And so I have no idea where. I think it's towards the end of season 2. Okay, when Dolph was trying to hook up with Nikki.
Yeah, that's the end of the last season.
Number one, it is a really entertaining show.
It is.
It is.
It's about as reality based as Raw is.
Yeah, no, it's totally.
But it's entertaining.
But Nikki's having this thing. Cena proposed to her. Cena made a proposal to her. Said, "I'll get married to you, but you're not gonna. But I don't want any kids."
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this is scripted stuff, but that wouldn't surprise me if that might reflect Cena's actual point of view.
It could.
Okay, because where else would they get that from? That's weird.
Yeah.
Do you think that has anything to do with him seeing 500 dying kids and being like, man, I don't want to do that?
Oh, I don't know.
I wonder if that psychologically does something to somebody.
I would think. I guess I always thought it was more because of the lifestyle he leads.
Yeah,
being on the road 300 days a year.
Yeah.
It doesn't really lend itself to being a father.
Because I started wrapping my head around it. The whole Make-A-Wish thing. That's got to be I mean, it's probably like, hey, you know what? I'm doing a great thing, and I get to make these kids smile. But just thinking about it makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
Let alone having it or doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's got to be fucking heavy.
Yeah, that would be really intense.
Heavy.
Really intense.
Oh boy.
DJ CS. Who do you think will be WWE champion first? Kevin Owens or AJ Styles?
Kevin Owens. Not even a question.
Kevin Owens will probably be champ sometime this year.
Definitely Kevin Owens.
AJ Styles, if he is at all, 2018.
Yeah, exactly. Give him some acting work.
Manuel Luna.
What was with that movie that they busted out with? The Dolph Ziggler Kane movie? Countdown?
Yeah.
I hadn't even heard about that. Like, I hadn't seen no
Dolph,
trailers or
Dolph
anything.
was away for a while to shoot a movie. I guess that was a movie.
I guess so. Corporate Kane was gone too, because Kane's in it. And then some random chick I've never heard of.
Oh, I saw that. I saw the poster for it. But
yeah, the poster. And then it's Kane with a shotgun and a cop suit on.
I saw that.
Dolph. They're always cops in these things.
Yeah.
They always are cops or army people, like the Marine. They're always army people or cops.
Yeah, I know.
Why don't they do something different?
Well, they did with that.
Damien Sandow plays a renegade YouTuber.
I say they did with the Kane one where it was the horror movie.
I like that one.
Manuel Luna.
Triple H was a chaperone in his movie.
It's true. The Edge. Edge was in some comedy too, I think.
With Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He was a cop, though. He was a cop.
That's right. You're right. Manuel Luna.
Manuel Luna.
Your favorite wrestlers or female wrestlers outside of WWE?
Favorite wrestlers outside of WWE? You know what? I've actually quietly made a promise to myself that I need to expand.
Yeah.
Outside the WWE.
I've been doing that as well.
So I was looking up everywhere how to find Lucha Underground. I got to go to my parents' house and watch Comcast Online Demand or whatever. Online. What is it? On Demand. Because all my machinations here, I can't figure that one out. I can't get that here with my dad's password. You guys see the Friendo Club shirt? You totally get that.
I watched some of Ring of Honor when they were on Destination America. I watched
Right. Do you have Pop TV?
Yeah.
Okay, so my dad probably has Pop TV.
But I'm still not going to watch TNA.
Oh, yeah, that's TNA.
I want to see what this... who's the guy's name? Mike Bennett, the guy they signed from TNA?
Yeah.
Or from Ring of Honor. I want to see what he's all about.
Yeah. Well, he's in TNA now, so it's probably going to be trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Well, so who are your favorite wrestlers? I took one look at that Mil Muertes guy. I got one of my favorite. He's huge.
Remember I sent you... I don't remember the guy's name. The first match was Phoenix against this other guy.
Yeah.
The guy that did the tombstone.
Oh, yeah.
Had the guy's legs under his arms. That guy was really good.
I'm going to say Kenny Omega is my favorite.
Oh, yeah?
He's the dude in the Bullet Club, the new leader of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
He's been around for a while, and I think he's the one in that video that made the rounds where he was wrestling like a 10-year-old girl. You know in Japan they do all that crazy stuff. Like there's a dude who wrestled like a blow-up doll.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious. But there's one where, and I'm almost positive, I could be wrong about this, but I think then Xavier Woods did a funny little video or something with him where he's talking about fighting it. He gave him shit for fighting a 10-year-old girl. And it's hilarious because he sells everything she does. And I don't know what the legalities are of her doing some of the moves that she does, because he'll give her like a chop or whatever and she'll take a bump. It's bizarre and it's hilarious. And it's another reason why I love Japan. I am so close to getting that new Japan streaming service because some of the shit out of there is fucking great.
You should. We'll split it.
But also I just like I saw that video of him turning the Bullet Club on AJ Styles right before he left, and he cut a really great promo. He's like a legit, and I kind of want to see him coming to NXT. Like if Gallows and Anderson get over a lot, and they do. Oh, that's one thing we didn't talk about. Is that all the fucking Bullet Club shots they had
on Raw?
Raw. There were a lot of Bullet Club shirts in the audience. You were just telling me while I was changing the camera, there was an entire family of Bullet Club.
There was the whole family, and then I thought there was some more people sitting on the side of the camera faces.
Right, yeah.
That had Bullet Club shirts too. So who knows? Maybe they're selling them at WWE events and we just don't know it.
That could be. That could very well be.
I mean, that's pure speculation. I mean, that's...
We need some reports.
That's not exclusive.
We need a report. We need some people to let us know.
We do.
If that's happening. You can get the Friendo Club shirt before it gets taken down by New Japan or WWE. I don't know. I don't know who owns the trademark anymore. Not going to be the Fine Brothers. They're not taking down anything anytime soon. If you guys want to do react videos at this point, get on it because they're not taking down anybody's. Oh, goodness. What about favorite female wrestlers? How did that lady do in Lucha Underground? What was her name? I don't even know her name.
I don't remember her name either. Because preceding that, they had a triple threat match with her and I guess I don't know if they were in a stable or something,
Okay.
but 2 other guys, and that was a decent match.
Yeah.
And the match against Mil Mortis,
Yeah.
she did fine.
Yeah.
She was good.
I want to see some Candice LeRae matches just based off that one shirt of hers where she's covered in blood. I watched one video of her and Joey Ryan against the Young Bucks. It was really good. It was a really good match. I like that. What's your take on that? Because that's dangerous territory to tread on a little bit, isn't it? Female wrestlers, against mixing up with guys.
When I was watching that match on Lucha Underground, my wife happened to be there. She came home from going shopping or something. And I told her what was going on. She's like, "Oh, that's kind of neat."
Yeah.
She didn't see, because like us, she realized wrestling isn't real.
Yeah, sure.
She didn't see it as a situation where there's a guy beating on a woman. It was like, "Oh, that's cool. This woman, it's like a female empowerment."
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's kind of neat.
I never took it that way with China.
No.
With China, man, have you seen that recently? The Corporate Rumble bit, where remember it was on Raw. It was a Corporate Rumble. And it was DX versus the corporation. And all of DX's male members had been eliminated. Triple H, I think, was the last one.
Yeah.
And they thought they had won. And then China comes out. And there's such a combination. It's such a moment. Dude, it was almost like when Stone Cold would come out. Everybody shit themselves. Like, oh, crap, you're going to get your... And it's like China. Mm-hmm. China was never, oh, my God, they're doing something to a woman. It was always, oh my God, China's going to fucking wreck you. Mm-hmm. I get that same kind of vibe a little bit with, number one, I always got that vibe also with Awesome Kong. Mm-hmm. And I get that vibe a little bit with Nia Jax. Because she's bigger. So I understand in today's climate when there's so much in the news, especially like we've seen it with NFL players, Ray Rice or whoever. I kind of understand that. There was some hubbub a couple of years ago where an MMA fighter got like a sex change and then started fighting in the women's ranks.
Yeah.
That's a fucking circus sideshow right there. That's not fucking cool. Like, why would anybody be cool with that? You know what I mean? But then there's a promoter out there who knows they can make money off it. And Joey Ryan tweeted out something, and I don't have it here, but he said basically, I've been tagging with Candice for a while, and there's a suspension of disbelief there that everybody understands why can't we just do this on the big stage? And I'm kind of with that. Now, if you want to go to the kind of, I'm always sort of torn between that and then the idea that, you know what, but then there's kids out there, and this is a publicly traded company that is trying to appeal to families and kids.
Yeah.
And if you're on a playground and you got a bunch of kids who love wrestling, you can't have a couple of boys beating up on girls acting like they're fucking wrestling.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know where you draw the line, though, because that's a big question. Where do you draw the line? Because, you could also say, I don't want boys to be power bombing other boys.
Yeah.
Like you don't want them actually doing these things. So I don't know. I mean, it's sort of a question we raised, but I like that other promotions explore it, and it gives you such an added dimension to the entire thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Where do you stand on that?
I think for WWE, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Back in the Attitude Era, the demographic watching the show was way different.
Sure.
It was, college guys, essentially.
Yeah.
That was the demographic watching the show back then. And today, now that they're skewing for a younger demographic, as you said, they can't present that stuff. Yeah. Whereas, like Lucha Underground, a lot of the indies, they're appealing to the demographic that was watching stuff during the Attitude Era. Yeah. People in their late teens, early 20s and older. So, people, I think they can get away with it.
Yeah.
But, I think you hit the nail around the head in terms of WWE being able to do it now, because it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. I mean, regardless of whether we think it's okay, they're not going to do it.
No, they're not going to do it.
Yeah. One match we forgot to mention last night, before we get to Kayfabe Corner, the greatest wrestling trivia challenge ever, or a YouTube show featuring a guy named Jeff. Titus O'Neil beat Tyler Breeze on Raw, which I think was a rematch from Superstars, if I'm not mistaken, because I was watching Superstars the other. It was in the background. I wasn't actively watching it.
Okay.
But he beat Tyler Breeze then. He beat Tyler Breeze on Raw.
Yeah.
Is this more punishment for Tyler Breeze or a mega push for Titus O'Neil?
I think Tyler losing period is punishment for one to leave early, but I think Titus is getting a push.
You think so? How far is this push going to take him?
I don't know.
I could see him challenging for the United States Championship. He'd make a good U.S. champion. Yeah, I could see that. One commenter on, I don't know, one of the videos I did said that the thing about the difference between Kalisto, and this is a decent point about Kalisto and John Cena doing the open challenge, that John Cena is a big dog giving other people opportunities, and Kalisto is an underdog. So it's kind of, it would be a different feel. I still think they should do it.
Yeah.
But he had a good match with Rusev last night. Yeah. The thing I like about the open challenge is that it's not just a storyline. It's a thing. It's an unpredictable event that happens every week that you can look forward to because who's going to come out, and it's not just a continuing storyline where you get the same people week after week. It's fresh every single week. That's what.
But they can also use it to build storylines like they did with Kevin Owens and Cena.
Right. Exactly. All right, Larson, it's time for Kayfabe Corner.
Cool.
What is Kayfabe Corner?
It's only the greatest wrestling trivia challenge of them all. Yeah, turn your screen so I can't see it.
The fuck. Hold on.
Email it to yourself so it's on your phone.
I'm going to email it to myself so it's on my phone. How about that?
While you do that, I'll explain what it is.
Okay.
12 names. 6 real, 6 fake.
Oh, 6 are fake?
Yes.
Okay.
6 real, 6 fake.
I made sure not to email that to you.
Okay, good. Okay.
Don't check your email. I think I emailed it to you.
And then 2 trivia questions?
2 trivia questions today, yeah.
All right.
One of them you should get.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Nice. Okay, here we go.
Hold on. Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Number 1.
1.
Star Warrior.
Fake.
Real. You were ineligible for a perfect score. Number 2.
2.
Mr. Wrestling 4.
Fake.
Very good. Lou Gantner.
Fake.
Very good. Rooster Humperdinck.
Real.
Very good. Frankie Fives.
Fake.
Very good. Dale Valentine.
Real.
Very good. Look at you. Big Daddy Dink.
Fake.
Real.
Ah.
Floyd Chicot.
Was the last one real?
I'm not telling you. What are you fucking counting cards over
Real.
here? Fake. The Big O.
Real.
Very good. You knew that one?
I think I've seen that name, yeah.
Not talking about Oscar Robertson. Bull Sutton.
Real.
That sounds real, but it's fake. Hella sounds real. I think the real guy's name was Red Sutton. The Big Kahuna.
Real.
Yes, real. Mr. Salty.
Fake.
Fake.
It's 8.
Can somebody make Mr. Salty on the PS4 on WWE 2K16?
Yeah. That's
Mr.
a good
Salty.
name.
What are you at?
I have 8.
Oh my God, you might very well. Well, one of these you're not going to get. One of these you might get.
Is there a theme or is this just names?
I started with Lex Luger and then it just went all over the place.
Lex Luger didn't have that many different names he wrestled on.
No, he had none of these had anything to do with him.
Oh, okay.
I started with him and I went through his career.
Okay.
Various people throughout his career, and then I probably at number 3 I started veering off wildly from Luger. Anyways, one of these was Mr. Wrestling 4, which you correctly said was fake.
Yeah.
Who was Mr. Wrestling 3?
Let me ask you this, and I don't know if you're going to answer or not. Does this question have any relation to Lex Luger whatsoever?
None.
Okay.
0.
Okay.
None.
Just wanted to ask.
None. And I should state, actually, I'm sorry, let me rephrase this. Who is Mr. Wrestling 3?
Kevin Steen.
No, that's not a bad.
He did wrestle as Mr. Wrestling for a while, though.
Steve Corino.
Oh, okay.
All right. What booze shares the real name of Mr. Wrestling 2?
What booze?
Yeah.
Hard alcohol?
Yep.
This...
God damn it. I'm not going to give you hints.
Well, you said booze. That could be wine or beer. Or,
I know.
or
Any number of things. You're right.
Is this the guy's real name or wrestling name?
Let me find out. It is his, I believe it's his real name. It's his real name.
I can't go through every booze in my head, so it has to give me an answer. Johnny Walker.
Very good. His name is John Francis Walker.
It's 9.
That's good. Very good. You did very good. I got to step my game up. I'm terrible. My fake ones sound just too fake.
Apart from my week where I just kind of threw in the towel.
Yeah.
Done okay.
Yeah, you've done all right. Oh, goodness gracious. Do we have any more to talk about? No more. If you guys want to ask, here's the thing. So we do FQ on our channel also. Or QA. Yeah, FQ.
FQ.
Where we answer questions. The wrestling questions are going to be limited to going in. Now that we're answering them at the end of the podcast, let's limit the wrestling questions to going in Raw.
Yeah.
And then if you guys have other non-wrestling questions, you can ask those on FQ. But for questions for going in Raw, for wrestling questions, hashtag it going in Raw.
On Twitter.
On Twitter. And then do we have a Reddit?
No.
Just do it on Twitter. Just get on Twitter.
Or in the comments of...
Or in the comments of this episode. Yeah,
episode,
exactly. Yeah. So anyways, that's going in Raw for this week. We'll talk to you guys next week.